After 60, the carbs you eat could be building your strength or silently speeding up aging. In this video, we reveal the 4 carbs you must eat daily to protect your muscles, brain, and energy, and the 4 you need to cut now before they do serious damage. Stay with us, because the worst one? It's probably in your kitchen right now. After the age of 60, something changes, something most of us aren't warned about. The same foods we used to enjoy without thinking now have a very different impact on our bodies. Carbs, in particular, can go from being a source of quick energy to a hidden threat, quietly accelerating aging, draining your energy, and even putting your heart and brain at risk. Let's be honest, many of us start the day with cereal, grab toast with coffee, maybe snack on crackers between meals. They seem harmless, right? Some even say heart healthy or whole grain on the box. But the truth is, not all carbs are created equal. And after 60, your body simply doesn't process them the way it used to. Here's what the science says, and it's alarming. Eating the wrong kinds of carbs every day can raise your risk of type 2 diabetes by 70%. But it doesn't stop there. These fast-digesting, low-fiber carbs spike your blood sugar, damage your gut lining, feed inflammation, and over time, contribute to memory loss, muscle wasting, and stroke. And the worst part? These carbs are hiding in plain sight in most American kitchens. But don't worry, this video isn't about cutting out all carbs. Far from it. In fact, if you're over 60, there are certain carbs your body needs to thrive. The right ones can help you rebuild lost muscle, boost mental clarity, support healthy digestion, and give you the steady, lasting energy that helps you stay active and independent. So today, we're counting down the 4 best carbs seniors should eat every day, from least to most beneficial. And just as important, we'll expose the 4 worst carbs that are silently aging your body, also ranked from bad to downright dangerous. Some of these may surprise you. One of them is probably in your kitchen right now. And before we get into the list, I'd love to hear from you. Where are you watching from? And how old are you? Leave a comment below. We read every single one. This community is full of wisdom, and your experience matters. Let's get started. Let's start with something that often gets overlooked: green peas. Yes, those humble little green pearls we tend to push to the side of our plate. But after 60, green peas deserve a front row seat on your plate. Why? Because they are one of the most powerful carbs you can eat, not just for your blood sugar, but for your muscles, your gut, and even your energy. Unlike fast-burning carbs like white rice or white potatoes, green peas are rich in resistant starch and soluble fiber. These nutrients slow digestion, which means your blood sugar stays more stable, and you avoid those energy crashes that can hit hard in the afternoon. That alone makes peas worth eating. But it gets even better. Peas are one of the few high-carb vegetables that contain leucine, an essential amino acid that tells your body to build muscle. This is especially important after 60, when your body enters what's called a catabolic state, meaning it's breaking down muscle faster than it can rebuild it. Without enough leucine, this muscle loss speeds up, and that can lead to weakness, fatigue, and even falls. Here's something surprising. A 2022 study found that seniors who ate legumes like peas at least 3 times a week had 14% more muscle mass after just 2 years, even without exercise. That's the power of the right carb. But peas don't just help your muscles, they also help your gut, which becomes more sensitive with age. Green peas contain a compound called chamole, a plant-based nutrient that calms inflammation in your intestinal lining. That's key, because when your gut is inflamed, even the healthiest carbs become harder to digest. And when digestion suffers, nutrient absorption suffers, and that leads to low energy, joint pain, and brain fog. To get the most out of peas, don't boil them until they're mushy. Instead, steam them lightly and finish with a drizzle of olive oil and a pinch of garlic. This keeps their fiber and nutrients intact and tastes delicious. Green peas aren't just a side dish. They're a strategic, muscle-saving, gut-supporting carb that should be part of your weekly routine. Now let's move to our next carb, one you might already have in your pantry. 3. Steel-cut oats. Steel-cut oats aren't just a warm comfort food. For seniors, they're a metabolic powerhouse. Unlike instant oats or quick-cook packets that are highly processed and digest too fast, steel-cut oats digest slowly and release glucose gradually. That helps keep your blood sugar levels stable for hours, something your pancreas will thank you for. Why does this matter? After 60, your body's ability to regulate insulin starts to decline. Most carbs cause a quick sugar spike, then a crash. But steel-cut oats give you a slow, steady release of energy, which means better focus, fewer cravings, and less fatigue throughout the day. What truly makes steel-cut oats stand out is a unique fiber called beta-glucan. This compound has been studied extensively for its ability to lower LDL cholesterol by up to 15% according to a 2023 meta-analysis, reduce inflammation, especially markers linked to arthritis and cognitive decline, improve gut barrier function, which becomes increasingly important as you age. Beta-glucan also feeds the bifidobacteria in your gut. Those are the good bacteria that support digestion, regulate mood, and even produce short-chain fatty acids that heal your intestinal lining. So not only do oats help your heart, they help your brain, your digestion, and your immune system. That's a lot of benefit from one bowl of breakfast. To get the full benefit, skip the brown sugar and milk. Instead, cook with water or unsweetened almond milk, add cinnamon for blood sugar control, and top with berries or flax seeds for an antioxidant boost. With just 15 minutes of prep, you get a carb that protects you from the inside out. Moving on to carb 2, and this one is as delicious as it is nutritious. Sweet potatoes are more than just a holiday dish. They're one of the most complete, senior-friendly carbohydrates on the planet. Unlike white potatoes, which spike your blood sugar and offer little in return, sweet potatoes deliver complex carbohydrates that digest slowly and support your body without overwhelming your insulin system. What makes them truly remarkable is their high content of beta-carotene, a pigment that your body converts into vitamin A. This vitamin is essential for your immune function, vision, and skin health, all areas that naturally decline with age. A 2022 study published in Frontiers in Aging showed that older adults who regularly consumed orange-fleshed vegetables like sweet potatoes had better memory retention, fewer colds, and a significantly lower risk of macular degeneration, one of the leading causes of vision loss in seniors. But the benefits don't stop there. When cooked and cooled, sweet potatoes form resistant starch, which acts as fuel for the good bacteria in your colon. This produces butyrate, a short-chain fatty acid that reduces inflammation, strengthens your gut lining, and even helps protect against colon cancer. Sweet potatoes are also naturally rich in magnesium and potassium, two minerals that support heart rhythm, muscle contraction, and bone strength. If you've ever struggled with leg cramps at night or irregular heartbeats, you might be missing one or both of these nutrients. To maximize the benefits, roast them whole with the skin on. Avoid the sugary marshmallow toppings. Instead, add a dash of cinnamon or turmeric, which adds both flavor and additional anti-inflammatory power. By adding sweet potatoes to your regular meal rotation, you're doing more than just satisfying a carb craving. You're supporting your brain, your gut, your energy levels, and your longevity. Now for the one best carb for seniors. This one doesn't get nearly enough attention, but it should be a daily staple. Lentils are a nutritional powerhouse, especially for those over 60. They're not just a good plant-based protein. Lentils are packed with complex starch, soluble fiber, and key minerals that help your body stay strong, energized, and disease-resistant. One of the best things about lentils is their very low glycemic index, which means they don't cause sugar spikes. Instead, they provide steady energy that your cells can use efficiently, a huge benefit as your mitochondria, your body's energy factories, begin to slow down with age. In a 2021 study published in the British Journal of Nutrition, older adults who ate lentils 3 times a week had lower fasting glucose, better cholesterol ratios, improved insulin sensitivity. All of these factors are key to preventing diabetes, protecting your heart, and keeping your brain sharp. But lentils do even more. They're high in prebiotic fiber, which feeds the beneficial bacteria in your gut, restoring balance to the microbiome, reducing inflammation, and improving nutrient absorption. After 60, microbial diversity drops dramatically, which has been linked to weakened immunity, brain fog, and even joint pain. Lentils are also rich in iron, folate, and magnesium, 3 nutrients many seniors are deficient in. Iron supports red blood cell function. Folate helps repair DNA and protect brain function. Magnesium calms the nervous system and supports both muscle and bone health. To get the most out of lentils, choose dried or minimally processed versions. Cook them with anti-inflammatory spices like cumin, garlic, or bay leaf. Avoid canned varieties loaded with sodium. Red lentils cook quickly and are perfect for soups. Brown and green lentils hold their shape well in stews and salads. Lentils are the kind of carb that works on every level: blood sugar, digestion, energy, and immune strength. In a world full of empty starches, they offer substance, protection, and power. Now that we've covered the 4 best carbs for seniors, the ones that nourish your body, protect your gut, and fuel your day, it's time to talk about the other side of the coin. The worst carbs. These are the ones that, especially after age 60, do more than just add calories. They actively accelerate aging, increase your risk of disease, and chip away at your energy, memory, and independence day by day. Let's start with one of the most familiar and deceptive of all: white sandwich bread. 4. White sandwich bread. If you grew up in America, you probably had white bread with just about everything toast in the morning. Sandwiches for lunch, maybe a slice with your dinner soup. It was cheap, it was easy, and it seemed harmless. But the white bread of today isn't the same as what our parents and grandparents ate. Modern white bread is made from ultra-refined, bleached flour that digests faster than sugar. And that's no exaggeration. Within minutes of eating it, your blood sugar can spike, leading to an overproduction of insulin, followed by a crash that leaves you tired, foggy, and hungry all over again. But here's the real danger. A 2021 study in diabetes care found that daily white bread consumption raised the risk of type 2 diabetes by 29% and heart disease by 16% in adults over 60. That's not just a small risk, that's a health-altering statistic. White bread also contains almost no fiber, which means your gut bacteria, the good kind, go hungry. Without fiber to support them, your gut microbiome weakens, your digestion slows down, and inflammation creeps in, affecting everything from your joints to your brain. And then there's the additives. Many white breads contain added sugars, hydrogenated oils, and so-called enriched flours that sound healthy but offer no real nutritional value. If you're eating white bread at breakfast, lunch, or dinner, your body is constantly battling a flood of glucose and losing. The fix? Switch to 100% sprouted grain or stone-ground whole grain bread with at least 3 grams of fiber per slice. Check the label, make sure whole wheat is the first ingredient, not just wheat flour or multigrain. It might feel like a small change, but leaving white bread behind could be one of the biggest health upgrades you make this year. Next up, a snack that's marketed as healthy but is anything but. 3. Rice cakes. Light, crunchy, and often seen as diet-friendly, rice cakes seem like the perfect low-calorie snack. But here's the truth. They're one of the worst carbs you can eat as a senior. Most rice cakes are made from puffed white rice, which has a glycemic index over 80 that's higher than table sugar. What that means is simple. Your body digests them almost instantly, causing a massive spike in blood sugar followed by a steep crash. And after 60, your body doesn't recover from these spikes the way it used to. A 2020 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology found that seniors who ate high glycemic index foods, like puffed rice, experienced post-meal glucose spikes more than twice as high as those who ate whole grains. These repeated spikes lead to insulin resistance, inflammation, and over time, damage to nerves, blood vessels, and your brain. Rice cakes are also nutritionally empty. They have almost no fiber, protein, or healthy fat, which means they don't satisfy you and you're likely to snack again soon after. Worse, many flavored rice cakes contain maltodextrin, artificial sweeteners, and the sodium-laden coatings that raise your blood pressure and irritate your gut lining. If you've been grabbing rice cakes as a safe snack, it's time to rethink. A better option? Try a small handful of raw almonds or whole grain toast with avocado. You'll get fiber, healthy fats, and steady energy that lasts. Now let's talk about what might be sitting in your pantry right now, promising a healthy start to your day. 2. Packaged breakfast cereals, colorful, crunchy, convenient, but also one of the most misleading and damaging carbs in the senior diet. From cornflakes to granola clusters to fiber-branded cereals, most packaged breakfast cereals are made with refined grains, added sugars, and chemical emulsifiers. During processing, the grain's fiber and germ are stripped away, leaving behind a fast-burning starch that turns into sugar in your bloodstream almost immediately. And here's where it gets dangerous. A 2019 study published in the Journal of Gerontology found that seniors who ate processed breakfast cereals 5 or more times per week had a 22% higher risk of developing metabolic syndrome, a cluster of conditions including high blood pressure, high blood sugar, belly fat, and insulin resistance. Many cereals also contain phosphates and additives that damage your gut lining and deplete essential minerals like magnesium and calcium. That means weaker bones, slower muscle recovery, and higher fall risk, all without you realizing what's happening. Even cereals that say whole grain or high fiber often contain corn syrup, barley malt, or fruit juice concentrate, which hit your bloodstream like sugar. Some have over 20 grams of sugar per serving, hidden under clever names. And if you're pairing it with low-fat milk, you're adding more sugar and losing the fat your body needs to slow digestion and support hormone function. If you need a quick breakfast, skip the box. Choose unsweetened Greek yogurt with chia seeds or a boiled egg with a slice of real whole grain toast. These real foods give you protein, healthy fat, and lasting energy without the sugar crash. Finally, we arrive at the #1 worst carb for seniors. The one that's not just unhealthy, it's actively dangerous. 1. French fries. They're crispy, they're comforting, they're served everywhere. But after 60, French fries are one of the most metabolically destructive foods you can put in your body. It starts with the potato itself, already a high glycemic carb. But when you slice it thin, fry it in vegetable oils, add salt and preservatives, and serve it hot and crispy, you create a blood sugar bomb wrapped in a heart attack. A 2023 study in Nutrition and Aging found that seniors who ate fried potatoes just twice a week had a 36% higher risk of stroke, and were twice as likely to develop insulin resistance and vascular stiffness, even if the rest of their diet was moderate. French fries also damage your gut. They're usually fried in reused oils containing acrylamide, a compound linked to cancer and neurodegeneration. These oils weaken the gut barrier, block nutrient absorption, and inflame tissues that your brain and muscles rely on. Then there's the sodium. Most fast food fries contain over 300 milliliters per serving. And let's be honest, no one stops at one serving. Excess sodium stiffens your arteries, raises blood pressure, and overworks your kidneys. Combined with refined starch and chemical additives, you've got the perfect recipe for fatigue, brain fog, and long-term cardiovascular damage. And yet, fries are emotionally powerful. They're associated with comfort, tradition, family meals. That makes them hard to resist, but the price you pay in health is far too high. If you love potatoes, bake sweet potato wedges with olive oil and herbs. You'll get the flavor, the comfort, and none of the toxic impact. These 4 carbs, white bread, rice cakes, packaged cereals, and French fries might seem ordinary. They might even be part of your daily routine. But the truth is, they're quietly draining your energy, damaging your gut, and pushing you closer to disease. After 60, your body is more sensitive. What you eat matters more than ever. Every carb you choose is either helping your body rebuild or tearing it down. Make the switch. Ditch the fast-burning, fiberless carbs. Embrace the ones that fuel, nourish, and protect. You don't have to give up carbs, you just have to choose the ones that love you back. As we age, everything about our metabolism begins to shift. The foods we used to enjoy without much thought, especially carbohydrates, now have a deeper, longer-lasting effect on our health. The truth is, your body over 60 doesn't process carbs the way it did in your 30s or 40s. What used to be a simple snack might now be the reason you feel sluggish, bloated, or foggy. And that's because not all carbs are created equal. The wrong ones, like white bread, rice cakes, sugary cereals, and French fries, digest too fast, spike your blood sugar, fuel inflammation, and drain your energy. Over time, these bad carbs silently contribute to everything from muscle loss to memory decline, from digestive problems to serious risks like stroke and diabetes. But that doesn't mean you need to fear carbs or cut them out completely. In fact, the right carbohydrates can be one of your greatest allies as you age. Lentils, sweet potatoes, steel-cut oats, and green peas offer more than just calories. They offer fiber, essential nutrients, prebiotics, and slow-burning energy that keeps your metabolism steady and your mind sharp. They support your gut, preserve your muscle, protect your brain, and help your body repair instead of break down. So here's the bottom line, and the message I hope you'll take with you today. Every carb you eat is either speeding up aging or slowing it down. There is no middle ground, but the choice is always yours. You don't have to give up carbs. You just have to give up the ones that are working against you and embrace the ones that support the vibrant, independent life you deserve at any age. Now, I'd love to hear from you. What carbs are you eating these days? Have you noticed a difference in how they affect your energy or digestion? Drop a comment below, we read everyone. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any of our weekly health tips designed specifically for older adults. Take care of yourself, and remember, small changes in your plate can lead to big changes in your life. We'll see you in the next video.